We are cutting agates today. But first, there's some things I like to talk about. I am on a 3-month keto cycle right now, and I'm a week in, and anything with artificial sweetener tastes like heaven right now. Okay, first thing I want to show is this really awesome sign that my wife had made for me for Christmas. One of her friends from high school, her husband does woodwork, and particularly makes signs like this, and this is solid wood. He painted it. He can paint and he can leave it natural. I got a sailboat over here, piece of jewelry with silver chain, rock hammer, agate, seam agate right here. Everything we do on the channel represented. Awesome piece of work. His name's Dan Wyle. Does great work. Highly recommend him. He's local here to Nova Scotia. If you're interested in something like this, I can hook you up with Dan. Just send me an email to rockhoundinglife@gmail.com. Email address in the description, and I'll hook you up with Dan. So thanks for that, Dan. Awesome. I love it, and I'm going to display it proudly here in my shop. If you guys want to jump right to the agate cutting, timestamps below. If the timestamps aren't there, I'll put the time where you can jump to the agate cutting, and you just go right there right now. But if you're a subscriber of the channel or a longtime viewer of the channel, you might want to stick around for the next 5 minutes. So there was a video recently that was uploaded to YouTube. It was a very negative representation of Highland Park Lapidary Company. We're going to call it the negative Highland Park video. That video was full of misinformation intended to fuel an alternative agenda and narrative. What saddens me is that I saw some of the viewers of this channel viewing that video and in the comments section. It saddens me that you were exposed to that misinformation. That video was clearly made from a position of hate and obviously personal between the uploader and John Rowland himself. But I'm not going to talk more about the contents of the video. What I really wanted to talk about and address were the comments in the comments section. And one in particular that referenced another YouTuber that received free Highland Park equipment and now has a sweet deal and benefits from promoting them. And that person was suggesting they would unsubscribe to the channel because they don't trust the channel anymore. The channel wasn't named directly, but, there's a few channels out there that have gotten Highland Park equipment lately and have become affiliates with Highland Park. I wanted to address that comment directly. And I'm going to do it by making 2 points. The first point is, I did not receive one piece of equipment from Highland Park for free. That's documented in all the videos I made dating from last year to this year. You can see in those videos, I bartered for all the pieces of equipment I had. I gave Highland Park hundreds of pounds of rock to sell in their live sales. Local rock from Nova Scotia, high-grade specimens from Nova Scotia, some of my most premium pieces in my collection. That quite honestly, some of the pieces I thought I would never part with. That's what I used to get this equipment. Nothing was free that I got from Highland Park. Second point I want to make is that, yes, I am an affiliate partner with Highland Park. If you use the affiliate link in the description of any of my previous 3 or 4 videos, I would get commission, 7% to be exact, on any sale made on their website, if you went through that link. If you don't trust my opinion and you think that I'm coming from a biased angle, I would much rather you use someone like Kate from Katie Did's affiliate link. Go over to her channel. She's a sweetheart. If you are not subscribed to her channel, please head over there and take a look at her content. She's from Billings. She does a lot of rock hounding videos on the Yellowstone River and around Billings. She does lapidary videos. She's taken part in the Maker's Challenge. She's, like I said, a genuine sweetheart. She is affiliated with Highland Park. She's visited their warehouse. She's met John and Sherman. Same with Rob from Michigan Rocks. Rob is one of the most respected people in the YouTube community. His reviews are thorough, honest, and unbiased. He gives his honest opinion, good or bad. And if you've watched any of his videos, he does not give his endorsement lightly. He endorses Highland Park. He's done equipment videos, Tumblr videos. If you don't want to use my affiliate link, please go over and use his affiliate link. Lapidary Dave also does Highland Park reviews. He's done quite a bit, cabbing machines, saws. I would also recommend going and checking out his videos. And for full transparency, everybody should know I'm also a high-tech diamond affiliate. And if you watch my channel, you know I've promoted their gear, for the last 4 years. Got nothing but good things to say about Jen and her team over at Reintel. Cab King, High Tech Diamond, Tumblebee, great people. They've taken care of me, and I've had a great partnership with them. I'm still promoting their equipment. That High Tech Diamond Flat Lap will be in my shop forever. Love it. It's one of my favorite machines of all time. Use it extensively to this day. and I'll keep promoting it. In fact, many of you have reached out to me who have been entering lapidary arts. I've made videos showing the usage of this machine and their other machines, and I've helped you get over the hump with starting up with their machines. Because, you know, that machine out of the box, you know, and I've said it on my YouTube videos, is not a great setup. It's got some flaws. You can overcome them. You just need to get the proper disc setup. And I've helped people do that. I've made videos showing what I do with that machine. So it's been a really good relationship, and I've had a lot of fun interacting with you guys on that equipment. I'm going to be doing the same thing for all this Highland Park equipment. I think it goes without saying that if you are considering buying lapidary equipment, please do your own due diligence. Don't base your decisions solely on one person's opinion, especially a biased opinion coming from a message where clearly there's personal issues involved. Get out there and do a wide search. Collect all the data you can. That's how I do my due diligence. I would never base my decisions solely on one person's opinion. And I've talked to most of you in our Rockhounding Life community. I find everyone to be very level-headed and kind, and I trust that you would do that anyway. And the last thing I'll say about this whole situation is the person that uploaded the video once made a comment on my YouTube channel that if you're going to upload content, you have to be held accountable for that content and be prepared to be judged. Which is why I was saddened to see when I commented on the negative Highland Park video, that same person didn't adhere to the same standards that they once echoed on my channel. Because they banned my comments. I can't comment on their videos anymore. Never violated any policies. I just got canceled for challenging the facts. That should tell you all you need to know. But hey, let's cut some agates. So the agates I got to cut today are some old stock 1970s Malawi agates, and these ones are big ones. Not much to go by as far as windowing on them. There's a little window here on one. This one's got, you know, no windowing. But the cool thing about these is they're all kind of pancaked. You can see they're pancaked. So I'm just gonna make a nice cut along the middle of each of them. And I'm going to use my Highland Park 10-inch slab saw, my stainless steel slab saw, to do it. The blade should have no problem doing this. It'll be a test for sure. These are big for this saw, but I'm going to test the saw. I got two more here I'm going to do as well. These ones do have windows. There's a window there, so I'm going to cut this one right across here. And then there's another window here, but I'm going to cut this one right down there. We're going to cut these 4 today, big ones. It's going to test the saw and the blade, but let's take a look at these beauties, see what's inside them. Okay, so the saw did pretty good work of that. That took about probably a minute and a half to cut. I sped it up in the video, but the saw blade ate through that pretty good. If you notice, I don't have to like move this when I'm cutting it. I don't have to move it up and down to get it through the saw. And you don't hear the dying of the motor when, like, if the saw struggles, the motor usually will like start, you know, die. But this one just stays constant. And as long as you're just feeding it nice and steady, I mean, you don't have to jar that up and down or wiggle it, which really helps the surface of your rock when you want to polish it later. But anyway, this agate, like I said, 1970s old stock. Let's take a look at it. It's our first one. And let's see. I haven't looked at it yet, but here's a little window there, so we kind of know. It's a little preview of what it's going to look like. Okay, here we go. Wow, that's a nice looking agate. Oh, yeah, look at the banding in this. That's a beauty. Here's the other side. I don't think there's any. There's a little bit of surface fracturing, little bit of fracturing here. Nothing really huge though. That's a nice, solid, intact agate. And the fine banding here of the clear chalcedony, and then you have this peach color around here, almost like a green band in the middle here. That's a really nice That's a really nice agate. I'm impressed with that one. That's typical of these Malawis. These big ones. You get these kind of earthy tone colors. That's nice. That's a nice one. On to the next. All right, here's the second agate. You can see kind of a preview of what it's going to look like. There's some really cool fine colored banding in there. I wonder if it carries through. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one. It's always best to cut them, like, when you see them pancaked like that, it's really the best to cut them with the pancake on the bottom, with the flat part on the bottom. But I gotta tell you, man, that is like super clear chalcedony right there at the bottom. Like that goes in there about, you know, half a centimeter or so. But that's some nice fine banding on that. Very nice. Again, no fractures. Loving that. Whenever you don't have a fracture on an agate, it's not too bad. It's, you know, becomes a shelf specimen, in my opinion. Let's take a closer look at the other side here. This side shows a little more, like, tiny fractures up at the top there. Cool. Two different looking agates for the first two. Let's go on to the third one. Okay, that one cut pretty smooth as well. Yeah, that one took about 2 minutes. It was a little longer because I went along the long axis of the agate. So let's take a look, see what it looks like. That's very nice. It's similar to the first one we cut. Kind of similar colors. But very strong banding. Very strong banding in these agates. This one's probably the most fractured one of all the agates we've cut so far. But there's a fracture right here and a couple other small ones here. Another one there. Don't like to see the fractures. Takes a bit away from the specimen appeal, I feel, but very nice banding nonetheless. There you see those fractures going across there. Pretty solid quartz center on this one as well. But all in all, really strong banding, strong agate. Let's cut the fourth and last one today. Okay, here's our last agate. Let's see if we saved the best for last. It's got the banding. There's a quartz center. There's a little bit of kind of plumage here. You can see the plumage at the top. Kind of mossy plumage. That's pretty cool. Fracturing's not too bad. There's a couple small ones. Maybe if I grind the surface down on each one of these, they'll go away. But that's a pretty strong, solid agate. Let's go do a little recap. Take a look at all of these agates again. We'll get some close-ups as well. So here's the quick recap. Here's the first agate we cut. Let me know in the comments which one's your guys' favorite. I think for me, this one was my favorite. Only because it had the least amount of fractures, and it's got the cleanest looking agate banding. I mean, you know, it's got this super fine banding here on this white part, and then you get the nice earthy tones with the banding around. I mean, really, really strong, really awesome agate. And yeah, I'll polish that one up and put it in my specimen case. And the other side's really good too. Not sure which side I'll keep. I usually keep one side and then I'll give or sell the other one. But not sure which one I'll keep. Probably this side. I like it a little bit better than that one. But yeah, that one was my favorite. Second one we cut. Lots of colors going on. Some reds and some burgundies and some kind of indigo colors. Some really fine banding up at the top. Little bit of fracturing. Some minor fracturing. Nothing major. But that one was a pretty cool agate. I really like this chalcedony layer down here at the bottom. That one was really cool. But I think this side might be my favorite. A little less fracturing on that side. Strong possibility for a specimen piece. So I like that one too. Again, another similar one to the first one. Kind of similar colors, except we had the big quartz pocket in the middle, which kind of detracts, I think. But no. Decent agate. Got the fine banding at the top, and then you get to the thicker banding, and then the big quartz pocket in the middle. But not bad. Fracturing's not too bad. A couple big ones going through, but it's not too bad. Probably if I cut it the other way, it'd be interesting to see if there was any fracturing if I cut it this way. Sometimes it's hard to tell with the full nodules. I didn't see any fracturing evidence on the outside of the husk, so it's kind of like a crapshoot when you cut it. But I'm wondering, you know, if I ended up cutting it along this way and I ended up avoiding some of those fractures, if it would have been fracture free. But who knows? But nonetheless, a very nice looking agate. Again, if you're interested in some of the gear I use in this channel, of course I use, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I use High-Tech Diamond equipment and Highland Park equipment. I'm affiliates with both. Those affiliate links are in the description. However, you know, if you feel like I'm coming from a biased angle, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, go ahead and go over to Katie Ditt's channel or Rob's channel, Michigan Rocks, and use their affiliate codes. They're also partners with Highland Park, so head on over there, check their content out if you want a little more information. But like I said in the beginning of the video, always, you know, do your due diligence when you're looking at machines. It's an investment for you, so you want to make sure you're getting the right information. Don't just take one biased opinion, especially one that's, you know, obviously biased. You got to kind of throw that out as an outlier. Do your own due diligence, gather data, and then come to your own conclusions. That's really the best way to do things, and I feel like I've always made good decisions doing that. I want to thank everybody for watching the video again. Everybody have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one.